You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Starting our Friday by enjoying a nice Cold Nation beer, and we're enjoying it Draisaitl style. Let's get into it with the lead. Another good example of why you need to watch the show on YouTube and not listen to it as a podcast. I mean, I'm holding a spoon.
I should be like the
a plastic spoon at that as well.
What are they called? You watch movies and they give like commentary and context. I think it is called commentary. Yep. Oh, my bad. Thought the mic was a bit closer to me because of that. To add context to that too, Tyler pushed my mic sleeve sock tissue. Carry on with the show.
Okay. Welcome into the show, everybody. It's Oilers Nation Everyday coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. Get geared up for a big weekend. Big weekend in sports in general. Hello.
Yeah, huge weekend.
Tyler Mulick, dry with a KG vet move. John Taffer would be very happy.
Who?
I don't know who that is. Don't care.
You guys don't know who John Taffer is?
I've heard the name.
Bar Rescue?
Oh, okay, sure. Vegas claims Lavoie.
Are you serious?
This dude's gonna hit the waiver wire 9 times this year, maybe more. This is already the 4th time.
Why would you do that?
Why is Vegas claiming Raphael Lavoie? Why do teams want Raphael Lavoie so bad?
I don't get it.
This is silly.
So Vegas has claimed Raphael Lavoie again after claiming him, getting him,
putting him on waivers.
Oilers claim him back, put him back on waivers because Colorado, we believe, had put in a claim for him, so Edmonton could put him in the American League. And now it begs the question, did another team lower than Vegas? But no, why did Vegas waive him in the first place then?
Because now...
What's changed? Has anyone gotten hurt for them?
That's what I was wondering. Like, maybe he plays a game?
Oh, William Karlsson? But I think he was out already.
Yeah, he was out already. He didn't play.
So they have 12 forwards on their roster.
Cole Schmidt is still there.
Cole Schwindt's still there.
Schwindt. Is that his name? I thought it was Schmidt.
They only have $449,000 in cap space, so they have to be sending someone down. Maybe they have 8 D-men. Maybe they're sending down a D-man.
Yeah, maybe Ben Hutton hits the waivers.
Here, this would have been a good idea. Trade us Ben Hutton for him.
I was going to say, if Caden Kozak hits the waiver wire.
Okay, October 6th, placed on waivers by Edmonton. 7th, claimed by Vegas. 8th, placed on waivers by Vegas. 9, claimed back by Edmonton. 10, put on waivers by Edmonton. 11, claimed by Vegas. Also, Colorado claimed Capo Kakinen from Winnipeg. So they got
his name? Capo
Kakinen, yes.
He was good. He was a good goalie a few years ago. He kind of fell off a cliff a little bit, didn't he?
Because he went to San Jose,
Jose.
That'll get you.
Mackenzie Blackwood's doing all right, though.
One player on waivers that I'm actually somewhat intrigued by here, Liam.
Justin Barron?
No, God, I wish. St. Albert product.
Oh, what position?
D.
Josh Maher.
No, he cleared waivers.
Oh, I can't.
Ian Mitchell.
Oh, the former Spruce Grove Saint.
From the
Bruins, right?
25-year-old right shot defenseman. His numbers in the American League are half decent, 6-18 and 24.
I don't hate Ian.
He's only played he played half a season with Chicago a couple of years ago. Played in 13 games with the Bruins last year, 2 assists.
I mean, hey, if you're going to take a risk on someone,
could be worse players. Yeah, could be worse players.
But the problem is, well, actually, you know what? Maybe they would claim him because you can always send down Dermott.
You could send down Dermott
to the top 4.
Yeah,
which is also another thing.
Which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But first off, to finish the explanation of our joke.
Sorry, one other thing. If Vegas reclaimed him, does that mean they can just put him straight through?
No, because he hasn't gone unclaimed at any point. So he's never...
If no one's claimed behind him, though, is it not the same rule as the Oilers?
I would assume... No, it's not, because he wasn't originally Vegas's property.
But he was at one point. Like, I don't know how that works. Do you know what I mean, though? If no one else put in a claim behind him, which is possible because someone did yesterday, does that mean he can go back just straight to Henderson? I wish we had a show that could tell us about this stuff.
I don't know. I
don't know. Maybe if he
DM Hart, DM Puckpedia. He probably follows you.
I wish.
I'll message him. Puckpedia. We'll get an answer for you guys. You just gotta watch me type for a little bit. Jason Demers is gonna join the show in a little bit. Can Vegas?
Jason Demers was absolutely incredible yesterday on the Amazon Prime thing. He's just hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Wait, sorry. Jason Grega tweeted, Vegas reclaims Lavoie. We'll wait to see if another team put in a claim. If so, he stays on the roster. If not, he goes down to the American League.
What the
What?
This is very confusing, and I don't like it.
So we kind of helped Vegas in a weird way. If no one else put in a claim, then we helped Vegas re-get him.
There's no shot Colorado. Oh, maybe. I don't know. And also,
crazy
what is going on with the NHL? Like, we didn't, when it was the Lavoie thing and we didn't know if anyone else after us claimed him, no one knew until like 3 o'clock. How does no one know until 3 o'clock? You should know right now.
Yeah, I thought everything just kind of went through.
This is dumb as hell. Also, I agree. I don't think they're actually going to claim Ian Mitchell. They've made their bets. There's not a ton of upside there in a guy like Mitchell, but I do think he's a 7 on a lot of teams. And a month from now, I think that's maybe where the Oilers start to look. But we're going to have a conversation with that when Jason Demers joins the show. If you got questions for our guy, JD, drop them in using the super chat feature over on our YouTube. A fun little thing we're doing. If you're like, I need to ask Jason Demers something, you can now donate to the show. We are going to be having, by the way, with our super chat, a charity angle throughout the year, but we're just waiting on some specifics before we announce it. But we are going to get to a point where a portion of the proceeds from our super chat go to support a local charity. So we're going to do that. Speaking of local charities, it is our season kickoff party coming next Thursday at GRETA. We are 6 days away. What do I like to say? If you're going to be hungover on company time. So Thursday night, come have a couple of brewskis with us. Throw a couple back. Watch Edmonton take on Nashville. We got hockey. We got the arcade. We got the bar. We got their delicious street food. Our parties are always a good time. You get to hang out with us, pre and post game show, live from the bar as well. Drink specials, food specials, and it's all presented by Alberta Blue Cross. Prizes to win as well.
Okay, I got some hype here. I got some news that I was told that we're going to be doing there as well. Shout out Marketing Maddie. She's making a giant Plinko board that we will be dropping pucks down, and then you win specific prizes on said Plinko board. So I think you get like an entry if you get a ticket as well. I think you can buy entries as well when we're there, but it sounds dope. I love Plinko.
I like that. Also, I've been doing the whole show with a cup and spoon.
You going to do something about that?
I am.
Liam hasn't tried the beer yet.
So, like I said, Demers joining the show right away, was on Amazon Coast to Coast yesterday, and being the big J journalist that our boy JD is,
it's come a long way.
He really dug in and asked Leon Draisaitl a hard-hitting question. Let's take a listen.
I heard that you stir your beer with a spoon, and I want to know what the hell that is about.
Dude, that would not fly out on Lake Joseph, in Canada, anywhere. Anybody, I got to hear about this. What's up with that, Leon? Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I guess I'm not the biggest fan of the carbonation in it. So sometimes if you have a couple, they sit nicer on the stomach if you just take the carbonation out.
Leon.
So a couple of things there. One, gonna try it because great excuse to have a beer while I'm working. Two, yeah, if you take the carbonation out, that makes sense, but it's also gonna taste like a flat beer. But anyways, shout out to Nation Beer, by the way. Pick them up in stores now.
I actually don't mind the idea. I think it is important to get that carbonation out. That's why you should always have a draft beer rather than a can. Like when you get a Nation Beer, pour it in.
I've tried it already, but you have not tried Nation Beer yet.
Dave Portnoy rating scale. Give it to me right now.
Have a sip.
Nation Beer from Odd Company. I am tipping back. Want to do the rest?
Yeah, well, I'm going to stir my beer with a spoon like Leon would do it. Oh, yeah. That is, oh my God, it's foaming up so much. I don't think this is going to enjoy my beer drinking experience at all.
A crisp, clean lager crafted for game day and every day.
Everyday lager. Get it now at Nation Beer, at Odd Company. I love their spot down in Ritchie. Mulek says flat beer better than bloated. Sure.
I don't disagree.
There is some logic, right? That you're supposed to pour a beer like aggressively so that it does all that bubbling in the cup and not in your stomach. However, if Leon Draisaitl's German, it's a tough look, man. That's a tough look.
The foam does turn into beer. Yeah. Eventually. Just go let it sit.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's not
all
bad.
right.
I'm gonna have
Well,
one of these tonight.
I'm gonna let this bad boy age. I
So-
do want some for the weekend.
You can get these at Richie right now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you can get
at
them at the
Odd Company.
location.
And
Yep.
if you check Odd Company's Instagram, they will give you the list of the liquor stores that it's going to. I'm not
Oh,
sure what
cool.
the update is, but go check out their Instagram.
Amazing. I'm actually going to the U of A Golden Bears game tonight, so I think I might
You're
go.
gonna come?
I'm gonna go. I got a few of the boys coming.
You want to go get a brewski after?
Probably could mix one in.
Can you bring one up to the booth for me and Pat?
It's to share. I think I'll stop at Odd Company on the way in. They got great food. Grab a nation beer.
The pizza's really, really
And
good.
it's really close actually to the U of A, isn't it? So yeah, I actually don't know where the Claire Drake is. I've literally been on like U of A campus
Go
twice.
Right
So-
next to the Butterdome.
right next to the
Oh, is it?
Butterdome.
Okay.
There's a parkade there that's usually like $5 for the weekend.
Oh.
But just park, go. It's like the west end of the campus, like
Cool.
west.
Do you know why the Butterdome's all yellow? Like,
No,
it
because
wasn't-
Golden Bears?
It wasn't supposed to
Someone
be all
pissed on it?
yellow. Yeah, someone just peed all over it.
and they're like, "Fuck, looks good."
It was supposed to be green and yellow, but they sent them only yellow. Like
They ran out of paint.
they only sent them yellow blocks or whatever it's made out of. It's not Lego, but by the time it would have caught them like well off schedule if they had waited for the green to come in, so they just made it all yellow. Rumor has it. There you go. Nation beer.
I'm trying to see if we're up on Liquor Connect, which is a really cool website where you can just
it's
search
good.
the kind of booze you're looking for, and it'll tell you where it's in or like what locations has it. But the search function doesn't work all that great. If you search Nation Beer, you get like a bunch of wine. So that seems like a flaw in the system. Anyways, we were talking about our GRETA party. So we're gonna do a little bit of a thing here. We have 4 tickets to give away, right? Correct? 4.
Yep.
So do we want to do 2 and 2, like you and a friend and you and a friend, or
I
do
think
we
so.
want to do 1 pack of 4? Let's do 2 and 2.
Yeah,
It
I think
spreads the
2 and
love.
2 is better.
Because let's be
Then
honest.
you have to hang out together.
Yeah. And if you win 2 tickets and you're like, oh man, but I have friends want to come, then they can just buy and then, buy them a beer, whatever. So we got tickets to give away. Again, it is next Thursday at GRETA. So if you're going to enter into this contest, please be able to use the tickets. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to tie it into our Sherwood Ford Giant question of the show. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. Have more on them in a second. And your Sherwood Ford Giant question is this. Give me one player that you want to see have a massive weekend. And if you answer in the chat and throw the hashtag GRETA at the end, so give your
I
answer.
need to be able to see it in the chat.
Yeah, we need to be able to see in the chat. That's why. So throw your answer. Who's one player you want to see have a massive giant weekend? And then add the hashtag GRETA at the end. And Aaron behind the scenes is going to put you all into a draw. And then we're going to give away a couple of passes to come to our watch party on next Thursday. So there you go.
I'm excited for the watch party.
Did I explain that in a pretty good way?
Yes,
I
you
think
did.
so. I think you did.
Okay.
We'll find out. Wise Kyle's in. Skinner. Hashtag. Which one?
Justin says Skinner. Maynard says Skinner too.
You
Although
really get a 2-for-1 if you just put Skinner.
actually, yeah, you got to clarify which Skinner. But Jeff specifically, I want to see.
Yeah.
Again, I was, and maybe this wasn't the right thing to do before setting my expectations of a player here. I went and watched his highlight reels before the season, and it's like this dude scores from everywhere. He has such a good shot.
Rip it.
There was too much floating last game. I didn't like his effort. I didn't like his effort in the preseason. There's a reason why Chris Knobloch wanted to make that swap and maybe give him a jolt earlier in the week when he practiced him on the third line for a day. Also would be a weird feeling if you're Adam Henrique to be like, oh, playing with me is a punishment.
Yeah,
That's
is
weird.
true.
Although,
true.
Not as good as
Played
Draisaitl.
well actually. The other
Yeah, he
day,
did.
Henrique. I think
But
he'd be my hashtag GRETA.
Jeff,
Henrique.
that you want to see have a big weekend?
I think you will have a big weekend. Yeah,
Oh, that's like your prediction.
that's my guess. Yeah.
I can see Jeff Skinner. A lot of you are saying Stuart Skinner, and that's a really obvious one. Do you think there's any sort of a conversation as we wait for more answers to roll in here? Do you think there's any sort of conversation about who you start when?
Do you know what? I was thinking about this because I think Calgary is a tougher matchup, and that's who I would want Skinner to play against.
Both teams are playing on the second of back-to-backs when they roll in this weekend.
Yeah, so I wondered that after the game. I would almost want Pickett to play Saturday against Chicago because I think it's the easier matchup. But on the other hand, you kind of want to give Stuart Skinner the layup of like, okay, you playing the Chicago Blackhawks. They've got some good offensive players. When they played the Utah Jazz the other day, the Utah Hockey Club the other day, they hit the post 5 times on Connor Ingram. He's a good goalie. He's in contention for Team Canada as well, maybe on the outside looking in, but still. I would go Skinner Pickard, which I think is the obvious way to go about it. Would you do the same? I think it should be a conversation, though.
I think it should be a conversation. Calgary obviously scored and got their offense going a lot the other day. So I do think there is something there. I am maybe, and I don't always have this viewpoint of how you handle your goalies, but I'm going to take bird in hand over two in the bush kind of situation here.
What? What did you say?
Bird in hand instead of two in the bush.
Bird in
I have
hand.
never heard that.
I've
in my
never
life
ever.
before.
You've never heard that saying?
Not once.
Is it because you can see the bird? In
So
your
yeah,
hand?
like if I think it's like a hunting there, but like, you know, if you got a bird in your hand, don't throw it away because there might be there might be two in the bush. Just take the bird you got.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I would go Skinner game one and just try to get this thing ironed out and straightened out. You are getting Calgary on the second of back-to-backs. As much as I know you are also getting Philly on the second of back-to-backs, I want to give Stuart Skinner a chance to jump right back in there. I want a fresh team in front of him. I care more about winning that game Saturday over Sunday because I don't just want to go 0-2. Also, it is a very, very famous saying.
Literally never.
Bird in,
Everybody in the chat's coming at us now.
yeah, bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Sorry.
Learn something new every day.
Chris Johnston. Vegas was the only team to put a claim in on Lavoie. He's going to the AHL. God damn it.
What the hell? Why? Like, why? Why did this happen? Like, the Vegas claiming him in the first place, I completely get it. Lavoie's a good player. He scored, what is it, close to 50, over 50 goals in the last 2 years in the American League. But the fact the Oilers tried to put him through again, someone put an off button and Vegas did it and no one gets it. Maybe I'm reading too much between the lines here, but like, teams are not happy with the Oilers. I think that is screaming right in people's face right now. The fact Vegas of all teams was able to get him after a second chance, I think that's insane.
It stings. It stings. Mulek, why were we so quick to find it out today? I'm assuming the NHL was like, oh shit, that was a mess yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Oilers were sitting there being like, are we allowed to send him down? Like, what's going on here? So, Joel, I say this is Stan's first whack below the belt.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so. Like,
two players got off a shield.
Yeah,
No,
so
well-
third actually.
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually a good point too.
They've lost their four best prospects this summer. Or go. Maybe he wasn't great by any means, but he was still probably their fourth best prospect.
4 of their top 5, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's not good.
Tough blow.
Yep.
I mean, you look at it now, in hindsight, it's probably a good thing that they moved up in the draft and got Sam O'Reilly. You know?
Well, now at least you have O'Reilly
Someone in
and
there.
oh, nice. Kennedy texted me back. She said I'm allowed to have
Oh,
this beer. It was on her
nice.
desk and I stole it. So thank you to Kennedy. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing that it's Vegas too. Like, you have back-to-back games coming this weekend. I think there would have been something to be said of just ride out Lavoie, see if you make it through this weekend healthy, and then send him down on Monday when maybe things calm down.
Yeah. Hello, Tommy from the UK.
What's up, Tommy?
Tyler
Also,
Yaremchuk.
someone is watching from Amalfi.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know where that is. I don't think Amalfi is a country.
No, but I think the Amalfi Coast
Amalfi Coast
is
the
in
thing.
Italy
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
or Greece.
Something like that. Here.
Mediterranean area.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something.
Italy.
Italy.
Adding Savoy too, telling me, like, yeah, that was good. Also, Jim Matheson tweeted this out today, but it totally happened like a month ago. Carter Savoy signed with the Ontario Reign.
Oh, really? He's
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, this
I didn't even
happened,
know
like,
he was back.
3 weeks ago, and yeah, he signed it with the Ontario Reign. So originally,
Okay.
for people who don't know, he signed in Finland.
Mhm.
They did a full video of him like getting to the dressing room with his Oilers gear still on, which is our Bakersfield gear, and now he's here. So
Well,
there you go.
Hey, Condors begin their season tonight.
Who do they play?
I'm not sure who they play tonight. I was actually thinking on the way here, I was like, damn it, should have had someone on Condors today. But maybe we'll do that next week. Also, we're not going to do a show Monday because I have my Thanksgiving dinner during.
Yeah. You
You're
should
not-
too.
Yeah, spend some time with your family. What
Also,
the hell's wrong with you?
we have 0
watch pre
NHL
and
ready
post.
players in the AHL, Joel said. No, I would disagree. Hamlin has played NHL games. We kind of forgot about Roby Giventi.
Yeah, he's hurt right now.
He's played, what did he play, 14 games in the NHL last year? Like, trust me, the pool is not anything significant, but they have guys who could come up in a pinch, like Hamlin. Like, I mean, hey, like, push comes to shove, Drake Kajula can play 8 minutes a night for you if you ever really needed him to, and you'd be fine. So I'm not really I'm not happy about it. 0 young players, fair enough, but it is what it is.
All right.
Disappointed.
So Lavoie's rocking up those Aeroplan points. I don't think he left Edmonton.
I wrote an article today. What's on my mind is what I call it. A few things on my mind. I praise the NHL schedule, believe it or not. But one thing I put in there was Lavoie. Is like, do you think he's just been sat at Chili's? Just be like, do I go back through security? What do I do here? Like, this guy must have just like where has he been? Like, just hanging out in his hotel. He doesn't even live here. You know what I mean? Like, he has been in Bakersfield. He's just been hanging in limbo. He's the most wanted, unwanted man in the NHL.
Yeah. It is a really, really weird tweener spot to be in if you're Raphael Lavoie.
And like, what a weird feeling. Like, the teams want me, do they not?
Sasky Oil fans. So we got nothing for Broberg, Holloway, and now Lavoie. To be fair, we got a handful of picks and a prospect for Lavoie and for Broberg and Holloway.
I think I don't fully disagree with Sasky Oil fan, but I just think is like what were they almost supposed to do? Like the Holloway and Broberg thing, I think was so
had to sign them, just had to get them done.
Yeah, they had to get it done, but in the moment of like the offer sheets come in, like I don't think those guys deserve those contracts right now. Lavoie was just unfortunate. They've put him through waivers a ton of times, and he's always cleared. What I was going to say is actually, because you mentioned it, the back-to-back games, the cap picture was something that kept getting pointed out. And like the difference between when Lavoie was going to go to Bakersfield and the difference between being on the roster was $4 million, what they could accumulate, to like 1.7 or something like that. And I thought it was so interesting that the assumption was that was just going to be able to stay the same all season for the Oilers, that nothing was going to go wrong for this team at any point, where they were just going to be able to get that $4 million without injuries or something like that, right? Like they're in a very tight squeeze here. So I'm a bit surprised that they were so hesitant to, so eager to send down Lavoie with the games coming up. Like they go on the road for a couple of games too, and then you have 2 days off against Dallas. Like it's actually quite a busy month to start the season. Having 13 forwards and 7 defensemen might not have been such a bad thing. And I think sometimes in these scenarios with the cap, it's like, yeah, you've got to worry about it down the road and everything like that. But having a player of Lavoie's capability, or even a Noah Philp too, for the same argument, having those players on value deals, isn't that what we wanted Holloway and Broberg to be for us this year too? So the same argument should be made for those guys. Like having those players is also a very much a positive thing for this team as well. And if you have Lavoie and even Podkolzin, I guess, is a good point of this, who gets in the lineup, say they get 10 goals for you. Well, you don't have to go out and get a third line winger now to play on the right side because you have Lavoie and Podkolzin and whoever, Philp, whoever it may be, this prospect who has been playing on this team all season and doing well and had reps with this team. You have to bring in this other guy. I don't know. It can kind of go both ways, and I think they'll ultimately be fine. But sometimes in this moment, it is a bit frustrating.
Naeem asks, any interest in Noah Cates? Seems like an upgrade on DR. Is he on waivers?
They've healthy scratched him.
Oh, they're health bombing him. Last year was a down year for him. His first full year in the league, scored 13 goals, 25 assists. Did he get a ticket, or is he still like rocking his ELC?
I think he's on his next deal.
Boy, I said that like a real D-bag.
Ticket?
Yeah, and then I said EL. I don't know.
Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh, one thing to not forget, it is a cup year. Lance, listen, buddy, I love you. So far, you're the only one to utilize the super chat.
$7.
He's donated the most.
Yeah, you have. Lance, just purely from the perspective of us being friends, okay? I'll tell you that.
Best friends.
Please do not spend money every day commenting cup year on the show. I understand that you might think this is like good juju, but these things can compound. I don't want to sit here at the end of the year and look at our super chat stats and be like, Lance donated $3,000 and all he wanted us to read was cup year over and over again.
You see, that is exactly what I want on my show. So Lance, feel free to do that as much as you want. I'll read it every time.
Noah Cates got a $2.65 million a year contract.
Should have just kept Ryan McLeod if you wanted to go and get Noah
Yep.
Cates. You had a penalty shot yesterday.
And missed.
He did miss. That was an interesting penalty.
Tell me how to live my life. How many bricks do you have to lay to earn back that $7? Actually, probably not that much. Like, it's only $7, but we do appreciate the support. Thank you, Lance. Shall we get to this? Oh, first off, shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford. Your hockey destination is Sherwood Ford. Huh? What? Nation Valet. How does that sound? Does that mean I come pick you up? Maybe. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. They're hockey fans, helping hockey fans, and it is hassle-free at Sherwood Ford, which is one of the many reasons why we love them. Let's get, also, I see some people doing it now. In order to stand with Lance and not make it feel like we're devaluing his thing, I will not read any other comments that say cup year. Okay.
I will.
Star Mechanical Guest Line. Star Mechanical Guest Line, Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. Check them out online, starmechanical.ca. Jason Demers joining us for his weekly appearance on the show, fresh off Coast to Coast Hockey on Amazon, where you asked a tremendous Big J journalist question to Leon Draisaitl. And in honor of that, I've been drinking this beer that I stirred with a spoon all show.
Oh, that is egregious to see you doing that right now. But I love that you're drinking a beer on the job. That's fantastic.
Well, I'll show them the can. We have our own beer. It's Nation Beer Everyday Lager.
Oh, that's awesome. And I love that little plug. After the shellacking they took last game, I know you guys needed it.
Well, it was a 9th preseason game. Game 1 is on Saturday.
That's exactly it. That's exactly right.
When you go to Edmonton next, Nation Beer's on us, Jason. But we're excited to have you back for the season here, doing your weekly hits with us. Let's start with Coast to Coast. I thought, first off, you were excellent. I liked seeing my boy Frank on the show. How did you think the first night went?
Yeah, it was good. It was, it was a little chaotic, but it was fun. I hope the fans liked it. And, I feel like the fact that it's going out to Canada, it's so important because, Canadian fans are hockey and they're so important, and they live and breathe this sport. So for us to kind of be able to give something back like that, a little red zone style, I think was great. Having Leon on, he was fantastic. So forthcoming with his time, and like having some fun with answering questions, and then to show all the hockey. Like, I hope fans enjoyed that it's just nonstop hockey. It's a little bit like Red Zone and like NHL Tonight, a show I do here at the network. And yeah, I hope it's just we keep tightening it up and making it better and better. So it's like something that fans in Canada look forward to. On, you have the Monday night show now, and now this Thursday show is, I think it's something that, Canadian hockey fans deserve. So I hope they enjoyed it, and we just kind of keep it rolling.
Yeah, excited to see where you guys take it throughout the year. I enjoyed it. I actually didn't feel like I had enough stimulation, so I had that. And then I had the baseball game, the Guardians game on a TV. And then on my laptop, I put Thursday Night Football. I just really wanted to mess up my brain.
There goes all your dopamine out. Just gone. I had a question for you, though, like asking fans. Would you like guys demoing stuff? Like, if I were to go up to the board and start talking about a play that I saw earlier in the game, and we really kind of break it down, is that something that you or fans would enjoy, or do they just kind of want to see, just show us hockey and leave it at that?
I do like when you do that on NHL Network, but in the context of the Red Zone show, or like Coast to Coast, I just want goals. I want to see every goal as it happens, kind of thing. And that's where I think I want the attention.
That's what I kind of think too, in terms of when we were talking about the show, is like, just show goals, hits, saves, power plays, and fans will enjoy that, and then they can watch anything else they want on the back end.
Let's talk about whatever the hell we had to sit through on Wednesday night with the Oilers opener. That was not good. We had Tyler Ennis on the show yesterday, and one of the conversations we had with him was skill teams early in the year against teams who their identity and they thrive on hard work. And is that maybe something where, hey, it's just always going to take the Oilers an extra little bit of time to get their puck touches in and feel like they're in sync skill-wise, versus a team like Winnipeg who just wants to jam the puck down your throat, forecheck like crazy, and do all those hard-working things? Is there something to that? Have you experienced anything like that in your career, or are we just reaching?
No, I think they had such a long run last year, and if you really look at the day that the Stanley Cup Finals ended, it was late in the summer, middle of June, and that's really tough to kind of get your legs going. And obviously people can say, well, look at Florida Panthers, and they won, but they're playing against, Jonas Korpisalo, and he's just okay. So and they lost last night to Ottawa. So I think they did this last year. I wouldn't be too worried about it. You got those top guys. The thing that worried me, and I tweeted about it jokingly about, hey, miss Cody Ceci yet, but that's a thin back end, and nothing against those guys, but they need something. Like, I can't see these guys on the, the bottom 3D really finding their game this season, or, showing us something that we haven't already seen. Ty Emberson's the only one, the young guy, that we don't know quite what his game can turn into. But, I don't think you can't ask a team that's got cup aspirations to lean on a D-man of his age and, the limited amount of games he's had and also to be a stabilizer for Darnell. I think the big thing that was huge in the playoffs that people overlooked was the emergence of Broberg with Darnell and being able to stabilize Nursey at times and being that skating defenseman. So I don't know if I like that pairing, but I don't know where else you go with it. You can bring Troy Stetcher in, but those are just stopgaps until you actually go out and get a top four, because this team's going to need a top four. Because listen, when Skinner's on, he's on. And you talked about this too, but when he's off, he's off. We all know that. I think fans have come to terms with it. They take the good with the bad, because when he's playing his game, he's a stud. I just think those ups and downs this year, like, they can't do what they did last year again. They can't go 2-9-1. Like, those are very tough seasons on your body to get into the playoffs. And then also the way they got to the finals is hard. You can't sit and rely on a 16-game winning streak again to get you to the playoffs. And if you do get to the playoffs, which I think they will easily, I think whether it's wild card or they, win the division, but you can't ask these top guys, because it requires a lot of luck. Like, it requires luck to get through the 16 games, to avoid injuries. Like, hockey's a lucky sport as well. Like, you got to be good, but everything has to fall in place. And a lot of stuff fell in place for the Oilers that you can't bank on that again. So I love their forward group. I think they'll find their way. They still generated chances. The power play was just a little bit, it was okay. But listen, you look at the Jets, like, yeah, the Jets are great early on in the season, but to me, like, I don't take that as like a big loss, because the Jets do this every year and then they lose in the first round or second round. So to me, like, the Jets have a lot to prove, more to prove than the Oilers. But I just think, if I'm in that locker room right now, I'm like, listen, guys, like, okay, game one's over. We got our asses kicked, but this can't happen like last year. Like, we have to make sure that we're getting some points early, because, there's other teams that are coming in the West, and you got to make sure that we're dialed in, because we don't want to be chasing the season again and somebody gets hurt, God forbid, Connor or Leon or one of these top guys, and then you're fucked, no pun intended.
There was some rumors going around yesterday, just talking about the blue line, that Shattenkirk and Giordano could be options. One, do you think those guys do you think those guys could come in and do anything for this team? Because right now it is kind of a rotation of Stetcher and Dermott, and Emberson I believe in, because like you said, he's just a young guy.
And you have to have patience with Emberson. Totally. But if you don't think Dermott's working, you can go elsewhere.
Yeah, you got to have patience with Emberson, but it's also like, we're trying to win a cup. It's like patience is, my start of my career when I was 21, 22, playing on those San Jose Sharks teams, like, I was playing, 12, 13 minutes a night, but like, there was patience, but also if I had a bad game, I was in that locker room being like, we're trying to win a cup. And like, if you can't help us win a cup, I don't care how old you are, you're gone. You're going to go to the minors, or we'll find somebody else. So I feel like for Emberson, I just thought I liked the trade, but I'm also like, it's a lot of pressure to put on him. And can he handle it? I mean, you'll know early, but I mean, yeah, I like Giordano as your 5'6", maybe a 7, because like, what else do you have? You have Stetcher, you got Brown and good guys and serviceable defensemen, but I don't think they're necessarily guys that will impact this team more than Shattenkirk. Or like, Shattenkirk's proven he can slide in and create offense, and especially on this team, he's great at distributing the puck, and that forward group just needs D-man that can get these guys the puck so they don't have to play D-zone, and he's a guy that can do that. So I could see them looking, but I think they need to figure out a way cap-wise, whether you're trading Kaner or trading somebody up there, to go get a D-man. Like, I think they need to make another splash and go grab somebody. If you got to give up some blue chip prospects, I think you got to do it. I think you got to win the cup, and this is kind of one of these teams that winning the cup in the next 3 years, even if you get a mortgage some of the future, I think is worth it. I think the fans deserve it, and it's like the time now with Connor and Leon. You locked up Leon, and you'll probably lock up Connor. I can't imagine them losing him, but both those guys are be making a lot of money. So if the cap doesn't raise at the level that they're signing, you're going to lose some guys. So now's kind of the time when you still have these guys at, decent deals, but I think they're gonna figure something out with Kaner, whether once he comes back he gets traded or they trade somebody else. But there's gonna be an odd man out. But I look at that decor and I just don't see it. It's early, it's one game. I'll have to keep watching and maybe they kind of figure something out. But you can't rely on Bouchard and Ekholm to play 35 minutes a night all season. Like you need some guys picking up the slack.
Yeah. I think part of the problem, like you talked about going out and making a trade, one, like blue chip prospects, they have pretty much none. And the other thing too is October, November, like the trade market's not there. Like you're not in a position. There's a team who's willing to sell. And the other side of it is even some of the teams that I think will fall back to being sellers at some point, the Montreals, Anaheims, all them, they want to try to compete now. Like every team's still full of optimism right now. Like you're not going to see anyone shake loose till January, February.
Yeah, they're going to have to, and that's kind of the concern, is they're going to have to really find something that works on this back end to get them through those times and at least put them in a position to kind of, once they get that player that can strike. So, and then obviously, listen, some of the blame falls on Skinner. We know that some of those goals were not great, and chalk it up to, but we know his record when he loses, he bounces back when he gets shelled. And Calvin Pickett's proven that he's a good backup that can come in. So I think they'll get there. Like I'm not worried. I'm looking at the back end being like, this is not and knowing this brain trust of Bowman and they're looking at making a trade or figured something out. There's no way those guys looked at that decor and said, yeah, this is our cup winning decor. There's no chance.
Well, I hope not.
I hope not.
Yeah, that would be mildly concerning. Last one I had for you was just on Raph Lavoie, the waiver drama with this guy, purely from a player's perspective. You got a feel for a dude who's been on waivers like 4 times in the last however long. Yeah, here's the breakdown from JD. Now he's going to the American League after all. Like that would just be a torturous 5-day span for him.
I know it sucks, and I feel for him. He's just in a tough spot. It's one of those things. Like I think he's at that age where he's got to kind of demand a trade to get out. I just don't know if he'll ever find a spot on this team. And if he does get a spot, it's not going to be one he wants. He's a great kid, works hard, works his bag off. He's got a lot of talent and got the possibility. He just needs the chance to play. And I even think like they don't really necessarily need somebody like him, unless maybe he'll replace Podzolkin. But like I think Noah Phillips probably the guy that comes up because it's a centerman, big centerman down the middle. So he's competing with him now. And I just think he's kind of there. That's kind of a trade piece for me. I think let him go play, and he's been a good soldier and really not complained and taking it on the chin. I think you got to kind of reward him. And Edmonton's always showed the ability to kind of take care of guys if you do right by them, which I think he has. So if I'm them, I'm sure they're exploring it. And if I'm him and his agent, I'm probably like, give me a chance to play. Like, give me 10 games or get rid of me and find a way to figure it out, because he's produced everywhere he's went. So you kind of got to give him a look.
I love lying about when it's my last question. Noah Phil, what a preseason ad. Didn't quite make the roster. I think he's up by Christmas. And once he's up, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I had a person, I know him very well personally after being at Bakersfield. And then I talked to him a lot when he kind of retired. And we spoke kind of, because that was the year I retired. And we talked a lot about mental health and things like that, and had a good discussion. He called me 3 weeks before he decided to start coming back and said he kind of found himself. And, he found the love for the game again, and he's such a great kid and a great player. Like when I was in Bakersfield, I was like, this kid's, if there's anybody that's NHL potential to be like a third liner consistently in the NHL, like a Radek Faksa type guy. This is the guy, and he's a horse, and he just kind of didn't love hockey anymore, and he had a tough time getting up for games and had a lot of anxiety, and mental health is tough. You got to speak up about it, and there's not enough outlets for athletes and things like that, and I was a product of that when I played. I never talked about it and had a ton of performance anxiety, and it crippled me, and I still was managed 13 years, but at times I probably caused injuries for myself because of it. So he made a great decision, taking a breath, and then he's come back kind of revitalized, and he's a great player. Like he's smart. I always said he's too fast. He's Luis Mendoza a little bit, where if you just slow down, he'd create even more chances for himself. And he's done that. I watched some of the preseason games, and I was like, this is exactly the way he's got to play. And it won't take long, I don't think, till he's back. And once he gets back, and I love Ryan and what he's done and his story, but Noah Phillips kind of the future there, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Jason Demers, Coast to Coast on Amazon, NHL Network, San Jose Sharks broadcast this year as well. You are all over the place. You're big time now, but you still make time for us, and we appreciate it.
You're my favorite of all of them, so let's rock, baby.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go. That was good. He's always so insightful.
Yeah,
he goes from talking to PK Subban one day to us.
Well, probably an upgrade.
Yeah, we're not.
I was gonna say,
we're probably not as annoying. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's good. It's so interesting to hear the perspectives on like the Oilers blue line from guys who have been on the blue line, quite frankly. So I'm not worried about the Oilers blue line because I do ultimately think I'll be fine. And I think they've just got to catch these guys in the sense of Emerson, Dermott, Stetcher in good moments. Like if one's playing well, push him up. Let him just have that stretch. And when it falls off a cliff, hope another guy's doing well and push him up the lineup. You're just going to kind of rotate these guys through. I don't think he was horrible last game. He obviously had the mistake on the first goal, but I do believe in him. At the end of the day, he's only 27.
Yeah.
We are asking him to play his offside, but he's clearly a fighter to come into this camp on a PTO, make the team, and now he's playing top 4 minutes. If you like it or not, he's doing it. So hope he does well. I'm still a bit worried about Stetcher. I don't really get it.
I think he should be in the lineup, but I digress. Let's get to what's trending for our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, home of the $50 bi-weekly ATV. They can get you on a boat next summer for as low as $105 bi-weekly. They're hockey fans helping hockey fans. That's what we love about Sherwood Ford the Giant and Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, and boats. They cover all 4 bases. That's impressive. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, right in the heart of Sherwood Park. We talked about the coast-to-coast thing with our guy, JD. I want less commercials. And I think I want more. So here's the tough part for them is football is such a start and stop game, right? There's a play, and then you have like 15 seconds so you can jump to another play. And a play is guaranteed action in a sense, whereas hockey is all action, and it's very hard to predict when a goal is just going to pop up out of the blue, right? Like it's hard to produce around that. So I do think naturally building something for hockey is tougher than football because of the nature of the sport. I think they did some things well. I liked when it was quad box and they were having a podcast style conversation. To me, that's great because you put it on the TV. I mean, maybe I'm unique because I'm sitting on my laptop, I'm working, I'm getting ready for the next day. And I need to / want to watch the hockey every night. So like when I'm sitting there working away, if I can just hear hockey conversation and then every 3 minutes have, here's a goal, here's a goal, here's a goal, then I like that. And I know Mulick said they need to talk about the games going on. And I think at times, sure, but I think it's also okay to use those games going on to fuel more of a conversation. I thought it was a good start. This is a product in its infancy. We talked about how this is something other networks have tried to do, and it didn't end up working out. I think they should utilize more of the quad box, 2 box, that kind of setup. Have like a power play zone even. Like when a team is on the power play, that game is on with sound. And I think it's fine. Yeah. And Dacky, podcasts don't play too well in a bar. Yes, but if the podcasting is just the audio and I'm always watching games, then if that's on at a bar, that's actually great because you can sit at a bar with your buddies, be having your own conversation and just be able to look up, hey, this guy scored, I got him in fantasy. Hey, this guy scored, I'm betting on that team to win, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think maybe one thing they could do, and just to be transparent, I didn't obviously watch the whole thing. I was kind of
Mhm.
in and out on it. Did they linger on games long enough?
They did.
Yeah.
They would
Okay.
zero in and you'd hear the call. Also, why'd you leave your wallet, keys, and headphones in shot of the camera?
Oh shoot, I didn't even realize.
I didn't notice until now either.
Oops.
Oh well.
I liked it. I obviously think that Rome wasn't built in a day. It'll take some time.
Yeah.
You heard Demers there asking, do you want us to do this or that? But I liked what I saw. And I just said to you guys before, Demers is just naturally hilarious that I enjoyed just
I know.
listening to him riff for an extended period of
Yeah,
time.
it was good. I liked the one thing that they maybe should have stayed on, and I just read about this online more than anything. They missed Celebrini's goal.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have it in the moment, and I'm pretty sure that was the only game going on at the time. Like you could have just thrown that game on and just been like, "This is how we end the broadcast."
Celebrini, yeah.
Because on Red Zone, Red Zone doesn't do the late games; they just do the morning and the afternoon games. So having that just kind of play out would have been good.
All right, moving off of that, we talked about the Draisaitl thing. Macklin Celebrini, the goal was a little fluky, but
Yeah,
the assist was nasty.
yeah, he's really good.
He's good. I
Here's,
said
here's
yesterday.
the goal.
Oh, wait, here's the goal. Like again, he tries the little spin around and ends up just going off like defenseman's skate and in, which is fine. I love seeing how excited they were. The crowd every time he touched the puck, similar to when like McDavid goes on a rush and the crowd in Edmonton kind of gives it a little. Oh, like every time Celebrini got it, the crowd was like, "Ooh, here we go!" And I thought that was pretty cool. His assist to Foley was sweet. So yeah, good debut for Macklin Celebrini. Tonight we get to see Matvey Michkov's debut for the Philadelphia Flyers, a guy who probably does have more immediate offensive upside. So yeah.
Oh yeah, probably. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a really good battle for the Calder this year. Like I know Brock Faber was up there with Bedard last year, but it just felt so clear and obvious who was going to win no matter what, even when Bedard was out. So having Michkov, Celebrini, what's the other guy? Cutter. But the one thing I wanted to ask you about Tyler, and I'm probably going to keep building this guy up. I know Aaron has already, but that Dylan Gunther overtime goal was so good.
Oh, he's so
like
sick.
such a great play. Like you don't really see that a lot, and I don't think that was like a spare of the moment. Like, oh, I should just pull back. I think he 100% meant to like go all the way and then just let everyone go and just be like snap it. And the way he shoots the puck is, oh my goodness, one of the best releases. It's so quick and it looks so easy for him.
4 goals, 2 games.
Amazing.
Let's
so
go.
good. Front runner for the Hart.
If he is available in your fantasy league, pick
Get
his
him
ass
now.
up.
Joel is in. Vinny already got sad after 1 game. No one talking about that. Oh, that was next on my list. Vinny Desharnais 1 game into his 2-year, $4 million deal, $2 million per. Gets health bomb.
Too bad. I mean,
I love Vin.
I think everyone
But
got to love Vinny.
People talking about how much we missed him after game 1.
So Emerson survived.
The Oilers lost 8-1 with Vinny and CC in the lineup last year. Like the Oilers blue line is a problem. Yes. The Oilers blue line is not a problem because they lost CC and Desharnais.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
It was already.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was just a problem in general.
If they would have ran back the same blue line as last year, I would have said that it's a problem. They got cheaper, and now they have the ability to upgrade, which they wouldn't have had if they signed Vinny and CC. So there you go.
Yeah, so that's the flexibility they were able to create. It's too
Cody
bad for him.
CC played 23-55 last night.
They ended up losing, right?
Yeah, they lost an OT. That's a good spot for him to be in a contract year. I'll say that.
It is.
It shipped out at the deadline there.
Yep. Okay, let's continue along with the show. We got to get to a quick lineup report here for our friends at Square. This is all about what's coming up on the weekend. If you run a restaurant, you're too busy for this ad. You're thinking about how to get more orders flowing. New locations opened up. You need to get more customers. Get your bread up. Keep them coming back. So really, you're already thinking about Square because Square Restaurant Tech has helped more than 400,000 restaurants do the same things and more. When you think about your restaurant, think bigger and think Square. Go to squareup.com to find out more. We'll throw the big link in our description. Can you guess which part of that ad I ad-libbed? Bet you can.
Get your bread up.
Maybe. One change to the Oilers lineup that we know of. Again, starting goalie still up in the air. But the one change is Dermott up to the second pair, Emberson down to the third pair. Okay. This is fine if you keep Emberson with Kulak. He has played 30-some NHL games. Give him a consistent partner. Give him 5 to 10 games to learn it. I said from the jump, Kulak's the better fit for him. I think Stetcher's the better fit with Nurse. You want to run with Dermott because you think he earned the spot at camp. I'm cool with that, but keep Kulak with Emberson. Okay, can we say, do you want to say it at the same time? Keep Kulak with Emberson. Very easy.
Okay.
Give these guys consistency. Consistency in the forward group. Good. Put the consistency with the young guy on the blue line. Give him a chance to succeed.
Yeah, give him a go. Kulak has done well with basically any partner he's ever had in his life. So I'm confident the two of them can play well together. And go back to my other point, if Emberson starts playing well, see if he can play with Nurse, but let him gain that confidence first.
Yep. Take some pressure off of him. Very easy. Continuing along here. Did we pick our winners from our giant question GRETA giveaway?
I made a wheel.
Okay.
I was able to actually do this.
Wow, you actually made the wheel.
I went through and I got all the names that I could possibly get in here.
Let's do it for our friends at GRETA. Also, shout out to Sherwood Ford for the giant question of the show. No giant game day episode, but we still got our giant question. Here are the names. We're giving away 2 sets of 2. So give her a spin.
Wheel is spinning. Fast.
Why did you close the ad for hair damage?
Uh-oh.
Who's that?
I don't know how to spell it. It's like this. Harry Goyle, something like that.
If that's you, email Tyler at thenationnetwork.com and say, I am Iwigoriel and I've won 2 tickets. We'll get you hooked up. Our second winner.
Could be anyone. Still going. Oh, Darth.
His name was Darth Plague something something.
Darth Plague and Iwigibida Oiler. Email Tyler at thenationnetwork.com. Say I'm one of the 2 winners. We'll get you fired off to our marketing department, and you are going to our party at GRETA next Thursday. Giddy up. It's going to be a fun Sherwood Ford Giant game day.
Yeah. Well,
yeehaw.
Draisaitl. Beer's going to my head. You get 5 points.
To be fair, this beer is also going to my head a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Friday.
You can come. Colton, you can come.
Tickets, nationgear.ca.
Yeah, nationgear.ca. Very easy.
I'll put a link in the YouTube chat right now.
There we go.
Darth Plague is the wise, and I think I did spell that Edward Goyle right.
Are we still on what's trending?
Yeah, we could be if you want to be.
I went out this week and I read to a couple of classrooms in Lamont and South Cooking Lake.
Oh yeah, you wanted to give a shout out to them the other day.
It was reading week, so I wanted to give a shout out to those 2 schools for having me. It was
what book did you read?
I read the first one I read in Lamont was it was called like My Home Team, the Edmonton Oilers, and the main character's name was Liam.
Hilarious.
So the kids asked me to read that one, but I had been practicing a book by Robert Munch. I didn't want to mess it up. So I practiced. I was practicing in my car. I got there early. I practiced, and I walked in. They were like, "Can you read this book?" I'm like, "God damn it!" Yes, I suppose.
I'm not prepared.
But it was very funny in Lamont. Obviously, the kids get very excited, and they thought I was someone bigger than I am. So there's like a huge line of kids asking me to sign stuff, and I had 3 kids ask me to sign their cowboy boots, which is very funny. So I got
Was that at South Cooking Lake?
No, in Lamont.
Okay.
And so that was good. And then when I went,
you were reading in Lamont?
Yeah,
my brother teaches in Lamont.
Oh, really? I went to the elementary school. Yeah, on Wednesday, and then on Thursday when I went to St. Luke's, I read The Smart Cookie, which was also another one that was thrown on my plate as soon as I got there, and I was like, rats, and I gave them all Oilers Nation stickers.
Don't ask the guy who talks for a living
to read
books. That's a recipe for disaster.
Talk your ears off, but don't read.
Robert Munch is interesting. Anyways,
he's a very famous author for children.
I know he is.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
interesting man.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with practicing. You got to get the voices right.
Were you doing voices?
I did my best.
That's hilarious.
Great sticks, though.
Yeah.
Colton, good point. He talks for a living, doesn't read.
Decent point. And we don't ask you to do a lot of the ad reads for that reason. NHL posted this fun video of European players saying their names properly, and I really wanted to play it yesterday. Let's play it now.
Hertl.
Sebastian Aho. Rasmus Sandin.
Pius Sutter.
Martin Fehervari.
Juuse Saros.
Philip Hranek.
William Eklund.
Eric Chornak.
Nico Hischier.
JJ Peterka.
Fabian Zetterlund.
Petr Mrázek.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Martin Nečas.
Juraj Slavkovski.
Karel Vejmelka.
Teuvo Teräväinen.
David Pastrnak. That's in Czech. In America, you can say David Pastrnak. I guess. I don't know. I don't care. It's fine.
Hey, AB, leave it up. Leave it up. I want to go back to this one.
Fabian Zetterlund.
Petr Mrázek.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Martin Nečas.
Juraj Slavkovski.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That was great. Yeah.
I didn't know who that Washington player was.
Martin Ferhaveri.
Oh, that's who that is.
Martin
He's
Ferhaveri.
Czech, right?
Yeah. Petra Mrazek. And I was like, whoa.
Petter.
I was like, no one's ever called you that. Maybe we should start. That was great.
I don't think
Peter.
I'll ever be one of those people that can say someone's name with an accent.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
I can do that one quite easily, but like Martin Ferravy, no chance I can put the accents on that name.
Luukkonen.
About practice when I'm reading.
Okay, let's continue along with the program. Bet365 other sports report, largest sports betting platform globally. Check them out online. Download the app. Use the promo code OILYBONUS. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Wow. That was.
I'm sad because the Yankees advanced. And I hate the Yankees. But you like the idea of a Yankees-Mets World Series.
Yeah, that would be fun, I think. Like a
Subway Series in the World Series.
There's no other sport besides football where two teams from the same city can play in the final.
Mm-hmm.
Because, quite frankly, it's stupid that they're not in the same conference. But kind of cool. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to dream.
Yeah, you dream all you want.
So, where's the Mets are Queens and the Yankees are the Bronx?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay? That's
Yes.
it. Okay.
You know why it's not going to happen?
Because the Cleveland Guardians did
We're
they win?
still alive.
We're still kicking. How did Eric do?
Eric did not play, but that's okay. David Fry with the team down 1 run in the bottom of the or in the top of the 7th. Bop! 2-run shot. It's gone.
Wow.
David Fry comes up in the top of the 9th.
David Fry.
He says, I just hit a 2-run home run to take us from behind to in the lead.
Okay.
What do you think he does?
Another one.
Suicide squeeze.
Whoa.
Electric.
What does that mean? Fun?
The runner from third just takes off and he bunts and score the run.
Oh, wow. And he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
Wow. What a
Team
hero.
guy.
Team player.
Damn.
Stephen Vogt, the Guardians manager, asked him if he was comfortable doing it. And David Fry, who's in the major leagues, says, yeah, I'm comfortable doing that. I wasn't very good in high school, so they always had me bunt. I thought that was fun. Game 5 goes 11 a.m. Saturday. They changed the time on it.
11 a.m.
So 11 a.m. Saturday. So that is going to fit perfectly in everything I have to do in my day. Game 5 Dodgers Padres is tonight. Darvish versus Yamamoto on the bump.
Kyler.
Yep.
Yamamoto.
Okay,
He was the guy who was on the Pat McAfee show when we were in Dallas, right?
Correcto.
Yes.
No, that was Shoto Amanga.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Tyler Mulick keeps telling us that it was mean of us to not tell Demers that Lavoie got
You know
claimed.
what? Sometimes you got to find out things.
Also-
I felt dirty during
Also-
that.
I know.
Read the tweet, man. It's on the screen.
Also, he was on a plane. He was joining us from an airport.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
He was busy. I wasn't going to be like,
Thanks, Jason.
he gives us good analysis. We're going to cut him some slack on that.
I
That's
mean,
not betrayal, not telling him.
he was probably right at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I agree.
We just
with-
traded him for nothing.
yeah,
There we-
I agree.
And
with
you know these interviews aren't pre-taped now.
Yeah, everything's live,
Yeah.
folks.
Drake May is starting for the Patriots.
Yeah, he is.
Why would you not
He-
start him against the Dolphins?
He's gonna break his body? It's gonna be
Who do
brutal.
they
I said
play?
we just lost David Andrews, our center, who's like the only good O lineman we had. He's gonna get beat up, but can't get worse than what it's been.
I have a theory, and I want you guys to hear me out on this. So Jacoby Brissett, probably the nicest guy in the world, can't throw a football anymore. He was terrible.
Anymore. Thank you for clarifying.
Anymore. He used to be all right.
Yep.
I think defenses were pushing so high up on the Patriots that they weren't even bothered about them throwing over the top because he couldn't. So they made their O-line look, and I mean, I don't think their O-line's great by any means, but it made it look way worse than it actually was. And the fact Drake May can probably throw a football, well,
Got
actually,
sneaky good legs. Too.
yeah, he can move a little bit more. He's going to make it easier on the O-line. It's like when Trey Ford plays for the Elks. Everybody knows Bethel Thompson isn't moving. He's doing his 3-step back. His feet are planted. He's like, oh, no one's here. Hello, defensive end. Bam, he's gone. That's basically what was happening in New England. I don't think New England's going to be any good, but I think they'll probably be funner to watch.
It can't be worse. Well, actually, let me hold on.
What could be worse is finding out your first round pick sucks. That could be worse.
But I'd rather find out than not do it all year. Because what's the point?
And everyone always brings up the Pat Mahomes thing. It's like what everyone seems to fail to bring up is the fact that Alex Smith was actually good.
Yep.
And he could play football.
Jordan Love had Aaron Rodgers.
There's one other thing I wanted to bring up if we've got a bit of time.
I don't care.
CHL and NCAA thing.
Take it away.
So for people who don't know, there's something happening right now where CHL players can currently not play in the NCAA because the NCAA deems players in the CHL as professionals. Basically, only hockey and skiing are the only sports in the NCAA that this is kind of a rule around it, which is so dumb. So there's going to be a vote in November that essentially allows CHL players to go and play in the NCAA now.
They don't burn their eligibility by playing in the CHL anymore.
So that's probably going to happen, and it's not good for hockey by any means. It's not going to kill it like people want to throw out there. But one thing it really, really will damage, and it's just not being spoke about, is youth sports. It's going to totally ruin youth sports. Like those WHL players now are probably going to go and want to play in the NCAA rather than go and play for the U of A. Of course, there'll still be quite a few, but like the guys like Noah Philp. If Noah Philp had this eligibility, do you think he would have gone to the U of A, or what if he got a scholarship to, I don't know, Massachusetts or something like, you know what I mean? Like, I really think it's something that's just not being addressed at all for hockey from Hockey Canada. It's like, yeah, this is a great move for US hockey, not for Canadian hockey.
So I think what will kind of change it is a lot of guys who do the U sports thing, they're getting their schooling paid for. And I guess if they get a full ride to the States, but that is still expensive.
Totally. And the way it kind of works is the better the school, the more likely you in the NCAA, more likely you're going to get a full ride. And for those who don't know, in the CHL, I think it's even if just one season, you get you get a full paid school for a year.
Yeah.
From the CHL. So I just think it's going to be very strange that Hockey Canada, I can't see them not coming in and interfering in this in some way once the vote goes through.
Or maybe if you're U Sports, you got to change up your eligibility.
They're going to have to adjust.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely the second best league out of the two of
But
them.
I like giving the players choice.
I 100% agree. I 100%.
One more thing quickly. Let's talk a little NFL football. I got my teaser for the week from our friends at Bet365. Houston, take them from 7 down to half. So basically money line. Arizona, take them from 5 all the way up to 11.5 against the Packers. They're on the road, but I think Arizona's offense is good enough to keep this close.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I like teasing that up to 11. Then you take the Colts at plus 2.5 and you tease them all the way up to what would be 9 against the Titans. Colts should keep it close. Cardinals should keep it close. Texans should win in Drake May's debut. Again, Texans beat my Bills last week. They're a very good team. Play those 3 together on teaser at plus 140. There you go. Shout out to our friends at Bet365.
Go Colts. We're a Colts podcast now.
Yes, Joe Flacco and also our boy Seth.
I have the video.
Do you want it?
100%.
Okay, play it. Play Seth.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Titans. Let's show them that we'll horseshoe them up. This is our team. Go Colts.
Get him, Seth.
Also, it's my favorite thing in the world.
He if you watch the video again, he edits in his nay.
Always edits him in.
Like, how many takes does it take, Seth?
I think he just does one take, and it was so good. But the nay that he just plugs it at the end.
Waz never made that video, by the way.
Yeah, Waz owes us.
We'll get Seth on the show.
And I like when he goes for the shoe and he puts up 4 fingers.
He should go like this.
Yeah.
Because that is like the Colts. That would be awesome.
Killer. I love it. All right. Sherwood Ford Giant game days this weekend. There's 2 of them, which means we got Sherwood Ford pre and post game shows coming up this weekend. AB, you are going live tomorrow, 7:00.
Yes, sir. I'm not
And-
entirely sure. Try that again. Who's joining me tomorrow? Sunday, it's going to be me, Brett, Zach Lang. It'll be me and Brett tomorrow for sure. And hopefully, I like that the Oodle Noodle poll question of who scores the first goal of the season. Still alive.
Still alive.
Still alive. You can still do that. And I liked your joke that there was 9 games of the preseason. Season starts on Saturday. Let's go.
And go Colts.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm hosting Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
that'll
Are
be
you
good.
making a turkey?
I think we're on ham.
I do like a good ham.
Yeah, ham's good.
Easier to make.
I gotta rake some leaves. I'm really getting into this like home ownership thing. I also got an email today being like, "Congratulations, your first mortgage payment is coming up."
Oh, get ready to look at the
thanks.
app for the next like 3 to 5 years of your life and be like, how have I made $80,000 in payments and I've only paid off 20 grand to my mortgage?
Can't wait. So that's gonna be great.
Look at us homeowners.
Yeah.
You know, people think we don't make money. We don't.
We don't.
But we also now have mass amounts of debt.
Oh, so we have the super chat. Shout out Lance.
Yeah, keep putting stuff in the super chat so Liam and I can bear our mortgages.
Yeah, so that's what I've got going on.
Cool.
What about you, Ty?
I got a couple Thanksgiving dinners. Well, did I tell you about my Super Saturday?
No, go ahead.
So obviously tonight, Golden Bears game. Pat Puff and I on the call. CanadaWest.tv. If you want to hear my play-by-play skills, I think
You're
I'm okay.
very good.
I'm okay
I
at
listened
it.
to you
Okay.
for years.
Yeah, you did. That's how I met Aaron. So I got that tonight. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. beer league game.
Oh, what?
Chiefs are 5-0. We're trying to go 6-0. We're 5-0. The team we're playing on Saturday has already been informed they're moving up a division because they're 4-0, but our goal differential wasn't as good. We won a couple 1-goal games, so they didn't move us up. And we're debating deliberately throwing the game so that there's no risk of us getting moved up in the future.
Smart.
So 9 a.m. beer league game, 11 a.m.
Pro.
Hey, QF Pro. Don't forget to tip your podcast host. Thank you, sir.
Go into the Discord.
Shout out, Mum, for the quib. 9 a.m. beer league game, 11 a.m. Guardians game, 2 p.m. puck drop, Golden Bears Bisons, Thanksgiving dinner at my fiance's family, 8 p.m. Oilers game.
The Chicago tomorrow, right?
That is a super Saturday.
Chicago. Yes, I said Philly earlier in the show. That's my bad.
And college football tomorrow is dope.
Great slate. Also, I don't know who Washington is playing. I think it's Iowa State, but it's at 11 a.m., which is actually it's at noon, which is a 9 a.m. start for people in Washington. Kind of
Holy-
interesting. The whole Big Ten thing has really thrown a wrench in the times. But yeah, that sounds like a great Saturday.
I have a great Sunday, too.
Here we go. Go on.
50th golf round of the year.
Yeah. What a way to kick it off.
BOA.
Oh, yeah, BOA.
And
BOA is at
football.
4, 5?
6.
6.
Oh, damn,
Almost
that's
there.
almost there.
Then Monday, Thanksgiving dinner with my family. Yep.
That'll be good. I mean,
Yeah,
No
it'll be
show
good.
Monday.
No
show
show Monday. But as I say it, I'm like, maybe we should do a show Monday.
Oh, I'm busy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Text me.
Yeah, we'll talk.
figure it out.
If the games are really good, maybe an at-home show.
Yeah.
Just like a quick 30-minute or like, hey, look at what happened on the weekend. We'll see. 50-50 on it. But we are doing DFO Live Monday and DFO Rundown. So I'll already be working. So I'm like, if I'm already doing it, maybe I should just pop on the stream for a bit. We'll see. Ryan says no show, be with your family. Okay.
We
Fine.
literally told people
We
don't
did.
come to the show.
Yeah, you're right.
Monday.
You're right. Okay. No show Monday. We'll be back on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
and I don't get Thanksgiving this weekend until.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Until
'cause I have to
Monday.
do
Yeah. No,
shows.
UK. No,
I
yeah.
have
You
to do
take Monday
shows.
off. Okay. No, Aaron's working Saturday, Sunday. So no show Monday. Aaron gets the day off. Everyone gets the day off. If you want to hear from me, I'll be on DFO Live. And there you go. 2 games this weekend. Do you think the Oilers can be 2-1?
Yes, I do.
Of course. I can't believe we're 1 game into this thing and we're already legitimately.
Oh,
talking trade.
Jeremiah.
Whoop.
Jeremiah. Michigan State hates BU. That's a great game. I'll rock my new Oilers Nation hat. He was in the DFO show today because he watches everything and we love him. But he went on Nation Gear and ordered a hat, an Oilers Nation hat.
Is that football or hockey? Because if that's hockey,
Michigan-
I might try and watch that.
Ooh, host BU. I said hates. Whoops. Host BU. That's a great game. College hockey this weekend then. There you go. Look at Jeremiah teaching us about stuff we didn't know. Mulek, the super chats are going to take over these shows. I don't think they will.
I
And
will.
also, that's why we're doing the charity angle. So if anyone's like, boo, super chat, I'm like, charity. So
Yeah.
there you go.
It'll be fine, folks.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, it is hockey. Damn, that's gonna be sick.
That'll be a good game then.
Yeah.
How do we get ON stickers? Come to GRETA and you'll get ON stickers on Thursday.
Noodle.
Or Oodle Noodle. Oodle Noodle also, by the way, I might get some Oodle Noodle this weekend in between Thanksgiving meals, mixing some nudes. You can also win your way into the nation vacation through Oodle Noodle. November 29th to December 3rd, Denver, Colorado.
All right.
That was the final thing we had to do.
That's the last thing we had to do.
There you go, folks.
There's a funny clip from the Real Life podcast where I compared Connor McDavid's dig in to the Hawk Tua girl.
Oh,
also, have you seen this internet trend of the cakes, the Hear Me Out cakes? And people put like
I
a stick.
saw it, but I don't know what it is.
So like there's a cake and everyone has like pictures of people where it's like you would sleep with them. So it's like Hear Me Out and then you put them in the cake. It's a dumb trend. Hawk Tua girl.
Okay.
You can't see what I'm doing back here. But
yeah. Come on.
Massachusetts this weekend in NCAA hockey play TBA. To be announced.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Stay tuned.
You got some time. Okay. This was a good week of shows. It feels good to be back to 5 a week. We made it through the first 5 of the year.
Good. Thank you, everyone.
Season 3 of Oilers Nation Every Day. We are alive and well. We got a new lineup of sweet weekly guests with 2 more still to announce. Woo! Or as Seth would say, enjoy the hockey this weekend, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this week. Tell a friend about the show. And most importantly, oil up.
Thank you for watching Oilers Nation Every Day. Hit the subscribe button to never miss a show. And for more, visit OilersNation.com.